Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Okay, a couple of things. Number one, Mickey Mantle's sale went for over $12 million, the SGC 9.5 card. That is great news for the hobby. So what I wanted to say is earlier on we had people from the industry and they were saying that, hey, negative content is bad for prices, it's bad for the hobby, etc. I stated numerous times what I say on my channel and what some other bigger channels say won't have any impact on the sales unless there's a conflict of interest where they're just dumping a bunch of products at that time, high-end products, or just buying up all those cards that they're trashing. And usually that's not the case where people are bashing something. So unless there's a conflict of interest, I don't see how negative content will drive down prices. It's all basically based on economics, as I mentioned before. Stimulus, Federal Reserve, easy money, etc. I don't have to repeat that over and over again. Now, what I find quite interesting is despite, you could say, the negative content, despite what some people may say cornball content, the SGC 9.5 sold at a great price at over $12 million. And I'm just wondering, okay, what is the PSA 10 sale gonna go for? That's just the first thought. I was reading some IG stories, now I cannot confirm this, that it must have been some big guy, maybe Ken Golden, was offering a ridiculous amount of money for, I think it is the Mantle PSA 10. I saw this on a post the other day. Maybe like over $26 million. I don't know. Something insane. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe that was a rumor, but it's just interesting that even in a slowdown, people are going to pay top dollar for basically the Mona Lisa of sports cards. Right? You can't get better than what, a SGC 9.5 or a SGC 10. Now I'm thinking, okay, what about my generation? Even though I was not alive during the printing of the 84 star card, is that going to be the next thing for my generation? The guy that sold the Mantle card, I think he's 75 years old, last name Giordano. In the 1980s, he spent $50,000 for that card. And it's just a fantastic ROI regarding it. Obviously, he had to pay costs, I believe, for storing it, but still, that's going to pay huge dividends for their family. 1 to 2 generations down the road, you don't have to worry about money. So if you're just looking at this Mantle card, what's going to happen with other cards? What cards are going to be chased by speculators, collectors, etc.? Now that the collectibles industry has been given a positive, how should I say it? It's just given a positive outlook. Like, hey, look at this ROI. Look at this Mickey Mantle card, right? So there's going to be more eyeballs. It hit all the national, or it hit all of the news outlets. I even saw it on MLB.com. And if you see a lot of these rich guys, they're going to be like, oh, wow, look at this. I want to buy some more sports cards on the high end. So Ken Golden's business should benefit from this. Heritage Auctions business should benefit from this. PWCC's business should benefit from this. Now, what other card is going to benefit from that? I alluded to the Star 84 once again is going to most likely benefit from this. Now, at the time where Nat Turner announced he's going to allow grading for this, you had a bunch of PSA 8s hit the market. Jeff Wilson notably bought the PSA 8 for what? $100,000. I think I saw a sale then go for $84,000 on PWCC. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Now, I did see Ken Golden on his website. He's putting a card up, a PSA 9. I don't think there's too many PSA 9s out there. Or there will be too many PSA 9s out there when it's all said and done. I have been told that some people do have the team set bags. Some of them may be in pristine condition. And I've also heard that PSA, if it's an older card, they're not going to give a 10. So, that being said, a PSA 9 may be the highest grade that will ever be given for this card. And if that's the case, is this the Mantle of my generation? And there's still people older than me will want to chase that. PSA 9, I think, is going for over $200,000. So that is a sale that is going to exceed the PSA 10 of the Fleer 86. So it's quite interesting where this will be headed. The other thing I want to note for the Mantle card is there isn't really FOMO for this. Because actually there is FOMO. Let me rephrase it. There is FOMO because the fear of missing out, because you're not going to see this card, in my opinion, unless the buyer wants to flip it. But it's going to be hard to flip a $12 million card into maybe a $20 million card, a $30 million card. It's going to take time for it to appreciate. And you have to ask yourself the question, suppose some fractionals start buying these type of cards. The fear of missing out. What happens when people see too much? It loses its luster. And then what happens? The price tanks. So, I believe that this card will potentially appreciate, but that is if you don't see it hit the auction block many times. Maybe once every 5-10 years, okay, you could see an appreciation. But if you see it all the time, people move on to the next shiny thing. So that is what it is. Last thing I want to say is that going back to the negative content. People are complaining about negative content on YouTube, but the mainstream media, they usually give the hobby a positive vibe, positive light. They say, oh, Mantle cards sold for $12.5 million. And they're alluding to how great it is, how nice it is. You don't see, from my understanding, I don't see the media really talking about the hobby the way that you see on YouTube. YouTube, you could see actually all the ins and outs. You could see the good, the bad, and the in-between. I think that's what's good about YouTube. Having YouTube, as some people in the industry, be an outlet for the industry and only positive news, I think that's a bad aspect. People coming into the hobby should know all of the things. They should know about the skeletons in the closets as well. The good, the bad, and in between. But that's just my opinion. And the last thing I want to end on is if people in the industry are saying that they don't like YouTube content, who are they going to promote at their industry and functions, right? They're only going to promote people that toe the line. They're not going to go bring on some guy like me. I mean, I'm a small channel, but people who have a larger platform, who are contrarians or who critique the industry to make sure that they improve, they're not going to be invited because it's a good old boys network. The good old boys network only wants people who toe the line, who say what they want to hear. And if you don't, you get canceled, right? Cancel culture is real. And it doesn't necessarily involve people talking about race or hot button issues that you see in politics. It could be if you are an independent thinker, you don't have advertisements backing you or sponsors. I'm not talking about AdSense sponsors. I'm talking about actual companies paying you, right? No offense to anyone that does it, but do you think they would allow anyone with an independent mind who just speaks their mind? No, they won't. And I think that's the unfortunate part. And I think that's one of the reasons why people have turned against the industry, in my opinion. But it is what it is, guys. Let me know what you think. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.